So quickly, I think what we wanted to do, Suzi Powers with Remax in Motion and Melissa Miller Fedrizzi with Remax in Motion, broker and agent. We've had a situation arise, and what we wanted to do is have a open conversation about that and possibly post this out so that others can understand this. Do you want to help us understand what happened? The topic is rental scams, right? And
Yes.
one of your properties was subject to that most recently, and if you could help us go through what your folks saw from both the listing side and this person who called you, maybe we can help others to know what to look for and to stop this from happening.
So I think right now, with everybody trying to distance themselves and they're doing everything from home, it's a lot easier to fall victim to this. So it's definitely, I'm looking over, she sent me everything that was sent.
And so tell us exactly what happened.
So
listing you had.
The listing I have, which is for sale, this individual took it and put it on Craigslist. And even in the ad, it's, you know, stating that was going to sell it, now looking for a great tenant. So that helps one see that, oh, it was for sale. So if you saw the for sale, it wouldn't be shocking. But they're looking to rent it. So this person, now what's even better is what's included. So not only is it a, you know, nice home, but everything's included in the rent. So
all utilities,
and this person was saying $689 a month includes everything, but they want that $689 plus they want security, which is a full month. So that's another $689. Plus they want deposits for cats or dogs, $250 for each animal, and that is negotiable. And then there's a $55 application fee. So all of this money, if you end up doing it, you're never going to see it back, because
you're never going to see it back. Yeah. So it sounds to me like they put out a rent that's too good to be true. It's under market. Mm-hmm. It's not a crazy, like $689. I hate to say this, and someone might say it's wrong. There's very few people who rent properties for a $689, right?
89, right.
Usually, so
$750, $600, $650, yeah.
Something crazy with that. So, got it. And then you're supposed to wire this money?
So they say you can go to any nearest Walmart store. They want you to use the MoneyGram and send via Walmart to Walmart. And so that's like $1,200 that this person,
if not more.
Yeah, if they have pets, it's going to be even more. So, but the biggest, so this person was on board, like, this is great, this is amazing. It was willing to do all these things. But what really, whoa, red flag was the 2:27 a.m. texts from them. Are you sending it? Like, nobody's
2 in the morning. 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
It means that's a possibility that they are not in our area to know that it's 2 a.m.
Right. So you're getting in. And another thing too is agents can help you with rentals, or the landlord is never going to reach out to you like that. They're never going to pressure you to make a decision right away. They might have interested parties and you could possibly lose it, but a landlord and an agent is going to express that and never pressure you, like, got to do it right now. And
absolutely,
money is never going to be asked.
And we typically don't wire money. So one of the things I think we wanted to do is get a sense. And so the person who was going to rent it, actually, it's a small town. So they knew the person and they reached directly out and said, hey, I'm working on this rental for you. And then discovered that it wasn't the case. And then they said, call my agent, got it to you. And now so she didn't send the money.
She did not send the money.
She was going to, and there was a rental lease worked up in place.
Yes.
Now, can I ask a question I don't know the answer to? Was the text, did they use your owner's name or did they use their own?
They used their own.
Okay.
So they put their own name, and they initially they'll send an email out, and the email alone is suspect. And she was a little like, this is weird, like just the wording of it, and it's not your normal thing you're going to get from an agent or a landlord. So
Yeah.
that's a little suspect, but unfortunately she gave out good information. So that's the scariest part. And I think that's the biggest thing, that we don't do that.
Yeah, so we want to say that. So I think we have several points that we want to make here, or that you want to make here, and then we want to get this out to the community, right? And I think one thing that we would say is be very, very, very wary of rental scams with any property that's out there, and never, ever, ever, ever send money, period.
Period. And you're gonna have people that are gonna verify that for you. So if by the chance you did have to wire money, you're gonna have multiple people that are confirming, then that's what you need to do. It's not gonna be some random text and through an email, and it's not gonna be and put it Walmart to Walmart. Like,
true. And you're never, I don't believe, and I guess there's different places. You're not going to rent something sight unseen without at least one other person. Now, as real estate agents, our main task is buying and selling properties. Some of us will do rentals, right? There's not necessarily a rental company out there that you could call, but you could call any real estate agent that's out there and say, hey, I'm about to rent this property. Is there any way, I'm in Alaska or I'm in Florida, can you get through the door? Can you just do a smell test for me? Can you make sure that it's there? Can you connect? Especially at Remax in Motion, any one of us would take that task on for you. So reach out wherever you are to a local professional to get somebody else through there. And even if it's somebody, I mean, if you're renting, your employer, who do they have that could check things out? Like, don't rent anything sight unseen and send money. And if the monies are too good to be true, they absolutely are. If every other rental, and that's why I think they do this, is because really it's small fraud, right? I don't even know, in adding the numbers up, if it sits under, these folks are just sitting back and trying to get, a couple $100 here and there. And it's not anything.
No one's going to fight it. Yep. No, you're right.
It's devastating when your money leaves you. So, never send money, and two, never do it without somebody else seeing it, right?
Correct. That's
the third thing, and I think this was one of the biggest things that you brought up, was the information, right? You're sending information out.
Yes. No, don't do it. Don't do it.
Your name, your social security number,
birth date,
like, these are things that they're going to, if they can't get, if you're smart enough not to send the money, you've just given them things. I will tell you that I will personally never give my social security number out. Even when you're sitting at the doctor now, they ask for it. And I'm like, I'm not putting no.
Right. What do you need it for?
My accountant, and when I open a bank account, those are the only two people, and I'm sitting in front of them when I'm doing it, and I'm watching them. Never give your social security number. You guys, as real estate agent, we never, ever, ever, ever ask for your social security number. We don't need it to buy and sell properties. Your attorney may. We don't.
Your
and
lender,
we're not going to ask your birth date.
Right.
We're not going to ask your birth date because it's fair housing. We don't care how young you are.
No.
Right?
No. Yeah. No.
So it's not information, and I don't think in a lease you would ever put that information either. So never give your money, your information out.
Yep. And especially, if you're out of state, I can see where it's a little more confusing. Every state's different, but if you're in this area, you live out here, yes, we're all social distancing. We're trying to do everything from home through the internet and not meeting in person, but landlords out in our area are not going to ask you to wire them money. They're just not. Like, it's just not happening out here. So
And in other marketplaces they may, and that might be, so I don't want to stop
right,
that process for anyone, because I'd love to get this message out to the world. But
right.
just never wire monies unless you have 3 and 4 party verifications that this is the right thing to do and that you're
Yep.
calling back the numbers. Now, the reason I asked you about the owner's name is you can find the public record of properties to figure out who the owners are. So that
Well,
would be one
that's
of the other
what
things too.
she ended up doing. It may be a step too late, was she Googled it. She Googled the address, and then things started popping up, and she was able to see, oh, wait a minute. And wait, I know this person that owns it. So that helped her finding the money. So that was great. But do that first. Google first.
Too is these rental scams haven't just started here in the pandemic and here in COVID. They've happened before, but as you said early on, this is an opportune time to catch people when
Yes.
their guards are down. And there's so much wonderful things happening out in the world, and finding a rental that includes utilities and includes all these things, and at a decent
Right.
price, it's a savior, right? So you think someone's really helping you out, and believe me, they will do their part to make you feel that way, right? So we're very, very vulnerable right now to that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. And then I think what we're going to do at Remax in Motion is I would love to post this out, Suze, and spread the word as much
Yes.
as we possibly can. But one of the things that we're going to do in our listings at the moment, just because we need the world to know, is in our descriptions, we're going to put right at the front, be very careful of rental scams. And I would say 90% of our properties are simply just for sale only. You know, there are situations where our properties are for rent, but if they're for rent, you're working through a real estate agent, right? You're not working direct. And so just make sure that you're being smart about this. I mean,
Yes.
on top of these, and while we're on it, I know that in my world, I've had a situation in my own family, and I won't go into the full details, where someone was buying a vehicle and they had flown to pick up that vehicle. And as they were flying, and it was all legitimate way up to the end. And as they landed, they said, all right, so you're here, pass the money off. And it was gone. Right. So anytime somebody wants to do that, that's not the thing to do. And my father-in-law had also gotten one of those calls that said his grandson was in prison, or not, it was in jail, because he had wrecked something with his car, and they tried to get money out of them that way. Never, if your kids are in jail, let them stay there. Call them up and make sure that they're there, because they tell you not to call dad, not to call mom, I'm in trouble. They'll record your voice. They'll pretend they're crying. This stuff, I just want to strangle anybody who's thinking of doing these things. So it's not just rental scams, it's any scams out there. And please always, and afterwards, what was crazy is my father-in-law felt foolish, and that broke my heart, because he felt like he'd gotten pulled, and he's like, no, but I heard him cry, and I want to pop him in the nose.
Oh, we can
But
go for a road trip.
Luckily, we caught that before. But so any rental scams out there, you guys, be very open to it. So let's recap quickly. Be very careful of rental scams. Never wire money, especially from like a weird space to another weird space, right? Never give out your information. Never give out your social security number. Never give out your age and birth date.
Google it.
Google the property and call, like, so if it was listed, you guys, and you do Google it, and it says that because this gentleman was, and or woman, I think it was a gentleman in the thing, they knew enough to say, we were selling, now we're renting, call that real estate company up and say, hey, 123 Main Street is now for rent. We know this. We've been posting these probably for the last 4 years, anytime something pops up. So Google the property and make sure that you know what's going on. And then ask for third-party verification. Ask somebody to help you out. And if it's too good to be true,
it's too good.
Absolutely too good to be true. So thank you for that. With your permission, I would love to see if we could pull this together and send it out to the universe. Would you be all right with that?
Absolutely. Everyone needs to know, be
And
aware.
I think that you were going to create sort of a 1-2, and we may add that in the link below to this, a 1-2-3 on what to do and what not to do. But we don't want to see this happen to anyone else. And we're also calling the police.
Right. And it's also really disheartening to the sellers because they're not doing, they have no control, it has nothing to do with them. And if you get a phone call as a seller, like, oh, you're renting, I'm about to fill out, you feel violated. Like, so these sellers get looked at, they don't need that on their name. So it definitely needs to be known. And if it happens to you, you need to let people know and share it. And so to help others.
And you should call the police, and we've got enough
100%.
information that we might be able to see if we can give them a lead to this, because I think, again, people are embarrassed, and they don't think to do anything. And if this has happened to you and you've gotten to the point where at least you were smart enough to not do it, that's great. And for reasons I get it, you might not want to, but helping other people know how much this, I mean, this happens to so many people.
So many people.
More than I think anyone wants to share.
Yep.
So if we can do our part to pull the curtain back and say, do not get caught in a rental scam.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yes.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Thanks for all you're doing for all the people in your world.
Thank you. Hey, Remax it. Okay.